And I'll hand you over to Danny from the Socialist Party, who was an enigma on the internet to find out about your past, I have to say. So feel free to introduce yourself a little bit more in detail than I have. So thank you very much. Over to Danny.
Well, my name's Dan Lambert, and contrary to what somebody might have said about themselves earlier on, to disagree with, I'm a human being. Sorry? Oh, can you hear me? Do you want me to use the microphone? Yeah, that's fine. Right, I'm a human being. I'm not English, but I didn't choose to be born here. It was just a matter of chance. More about the Socialist Party. The Socialist Party was formed in 1904 with a declaration of principles and an object. The object is the establishment of a system of society where the means for producing and distributing wealth are owned and democratically controlled by and in the interest of the whole community. We live in a society called capitalism, and it runs for the benefit of the capitalists. I mean, that's why they call it capitalism. And it's based on the employment of wage labour. Now, if we look at the term employment, we can see that it means to use, to exploit, to take advantage of. And that's what our society does with working class people. We are used. We have to sell ourselves, our abilities, our social creativity on the labour market for a wage, salary or a fee. In fact, a price. And therefore, anything with a price cannot be free. Now, what the Socialist Party proposes is a system of society where we produce not to the profit of a few, but for the benefit of all, on the basis of from each according to ability, to each according to need. A society where we bring freely of our social creativity and take freely of social production. And all societies, I mean, I have to say first and foremost that, before I carry on, is that the Socialist Party is a revolutionary organisation. The object is a revolutionary object. So therefore we don't propose to reform or to advise our oppressors how to run capitalism. I mean, what we want to do is replace it with socialism. So I don't have any huge ideas to tell you about Europe, apart from the fact that it's just another way of socialist, capitalist oppressing working people. But all societies are social relationships. So it follows, the more we know about what we're relating with, the more we know about who we're relating to, the more functional, more human that society will be. So let's have a look at who we are. Well, look, as I said before, I'm a human being. I share the same ancestors with all of you. There's nobody on this planet more distantly related, according to the geneticists, to the 16th cousin. So there we are a human family. Now, in a family that functions as a family must, if it's to be a real family, the ethic is, the Socialist watchword, from each according to ability, to each according to need. So we can see immediately why our society is so dysfunctional. It is driven by a case of mistaken identity. We are conditioned from birth to identify ourselves as English, Irish, Scots, Welsh, Iraqi, American, Pakistani, Indian, Palestinian, Israeli. And all these identities are spurious. They have no foundation in fact. They're inventions. They exist only in the imagination. What we are human beings. And until such times as we discover and acknowledge our common identity, then we will be driven by division. Because the great thing about having a common identity is that you cannot abuse, exploit, or take advantage in any way of those you identify with. All you can do is cooperate. Now, we human beings are so much better off when we cooperate. And of course, in a society where we bring according to our ability, take according to our need, a society where production is only carried out with use and not for profit, then there'll be no money involved. And when no money is involved, then we don't need banking, insurance, taxation, advertising, money, and debt collecting. We don't need the armed forces to defend this private property owned by the capitalist clubs. We don't need military industrial complexes. I mean, William Morris pointed out the century before last, it was more expensive to sell something than it is to make it. So therefore, I mean, today, if you have a look, it works out that to sell something is 70% more expensive, 7 times more expensive than it is to make. So, therefore, with a society that's truly human, based on a human relationship as we really are, then we'll have the leisure to discover and the time to discover our potential, our personalities, our creativity, in the company of everybody else who's encouraged to do the same thing. Now, I mean, what I urge you to do is to go online, look up the Socialist Party, and have a real good look and see if you find something in it. Because that's what I'm here to do. In this bumbling clumsy way, I want you to actually figure out for yourself what's in your interest, so you can live for yourself and not for your employer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Danny.